Welcome into the Bucknuts Morning 5. I am editor Dave Biddle, joined by the People's Champ, Matt Baxendale. And Bax, I want to get into recruiting. This is the time of year for recruiting, that's for sure. A couple official visits for the Buckeyes over the weekend. Brady Taylor, offensive lineman from Bishop Reedy here in Columbus. I'll just cut to the chase. I think he's a lock. The visit went well. He's a lock. He'll be number 22 in the class. Derek Noddy, defensive tackle, not a lock. Bax, he's not talking right now. It's hard to get a read on him. What are your thoughts on Derek Noddy? If you had to pick right now, where do you think he's going to end up?
Here's an interesting connection for you. Most people thought Derek Noddy was going to eventually end up at Virginia Tech, just like where Brady Taylor was previously committed to. I guess technically still is committed to, even though I'm in the same boat as you. I think Brady Taylor is absolutely going to stay home here in Columbus to be a Buckeye. But if they took an official visit together the same weekend and Noddy was talking to a guy who was a former Virginia Tech, or about to be former Virginia Tech commit, what does that do in terms of influencing him about his decision? You have to think Brady Taylor might have ended up being as valuable recruiter for Ohio State as anybody if Derek Noddy's watching him getting ready to flip. Truth be told, I think Ohio State is in good position if they want to take Noddy. I mean, the question for me is, do they have space? Because you know they're holding the spot for Solomon Thomas. Brady Taylor's already taken one spot almost for sure. Are they taking 3 more kids in this class, or is 2 the limit?
I think they can get to 24. I think they can take Brady Taylor and 2 more, but we'll see. Solomon Thomas, he's going to wait till signing day, it sounds like, to decide. The Buckeyes went down to visit him. I should say one Buckeye, a newest Buckeye, Larry Johnson, went down to visit him on Friday, and the visit went well. Larry Johnson got to meet his high school coach for the first time, got to meet Solomon Thomas in person for the first time, and Solomon Thomas says Texas is out of it, so that's good news. Some people thought with Charlie Strong coming in that Texas might get back in there, but no, it's still down to Ohio State, Stanford, UCLA, or Arkansas. I feel good about this one. I get a good vibe from Solomon Thomas. I think he was at first upset that Mike Vrabel left, but Buckeyes could not have replaced Mike Vrabel with anybody better than Larry Johnson. I feel good about Solomon Thomas, but he's going to make us sweat this one out, Bax.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things going in Ohio State's favor for this. One is that they replaced a superstar and Mike Vrabel with an even bigger superstar than Larry Johnson. The second thing that they have going for them is, you just mentioned, one of his other 4 finalists is Arkansas. Well, our new defensive coordinator was Arkansas's defensive coordinator. So I'm sure there's a pre-existing relationship between Solomon Thomas and Chris Ash. And that's a great sign for Ohio State. To me, if he wasn't chasing after going to Stanford, if Stanford wasn't one of his Final Four schools with the education that comes along with the package, to me I'd feel like this is absolutely going to be yet another Texas kid that Urban Meyer pulls back down to Columbus. I mean, that's just the way it seems to me. But the question is really, is that Stanford education more valuable than what is likely a superior football opportunity at Ohio State? I don't know the kid personally. I don't know what he places value on, but I can tell you what, my kid an opportunity to go to Stanford for free. I'd have trouble tracking that down, especially with them being better at football. So maybe I'm a little more pessimistic than you on this one, Dave. I'm certainly hopeful. But to me, Solomon Thomas still seems more like we're the runner-up, and I don't know if we've done anything to jump Stanford. But luckily, we get the last official visit just days before signing day.
Yeah, he will visit Ohio State the weekend of January 31st, so that's good. And I certainly don't think Solomon Thomas is a lock, but I have a good feeling about him. I wouldn't put him in the Brady Taylor category, that's for sure. Hey, real quick, Bax, I read a story yesterday on NFL.com, their first mock draft. I'm wondering, I wonder if I'll have Shazier Roby and Carlos Hyde in there. Well, Ryan Shazier, Brad Roby, and Carlos Hyde, all projected as late first-round picks by NFL.com. In fact, they have Hyde as the number 1 running back in the draft. They have Roby going to my Bengals. It's just interesting to me when you look at that, the 3 potential first-round picks. I tend to think one of those guys is probably going to slip to the second round, and it won't be Carlos Hyde. He's, to me, a lock to be late first-round pick. The Buckeyes losing 4/5 of the offensive line. I know they have Braxton Miller coming back. I know they have the defensive line coming back, but did the Buckeyes miss a golden opportunity this year? I think they did. I think they missed a golden opportunity in 2013. I don't know if they could have beaten Florida State. I think this team is losing a lot more talent than a lot of people want to believe, and I think it was there for the taking this year, at least to get to the national championship game.
Is this the part of the Bucknuts Morning 5 where you rub salt in all our wounds, Dave? Of course it's a missed opportunity. Let's be real here. This is the best offense in the history of Ohio State football. We had the best offensive line in the country. We had the number 1 tailback in the country, Carlos Hyde. If the defense was just competent, the Buckeyes would have played for a national championship. And frankly, if we just had a competent defense, not a great defense, a competent defense, I would have loved our chances against Florida State. But since we didn't have that confident defense, since that's fantasy land, we probably would have lost to Florida State. But it was still a golden opportunity, and I still would have loved the shot. But I don't think it's one of those things where we have to lament losing our chance this year as much as you would at another place. This is Ohio State. We have Urban Meyer. We always reload. Braxton Miller's coming back next year. The defense is going to be significantly better with one of the best, if not the best, defensive lines in the country. And people will actually know how to scheme a defense, scheming the defense. And people talk about losing all those offensive linemen. You bring Taylor Decker back. Pat Elflein's clearly going to be able to play. You've got depth, and frankly, look what Ed Warner did with these guys when he took over last time. They worked miracles with a line that was not good at all. So bringing him back and taking care of these young linemen and developing them, I think it's going to be a lot better on the O-line than most people do. I'm a little more optimistic on that front than almost anybody else, to be honest. But look what Ed Warner's done. Trust his track record. This is Ohio State. We miss opportunities every year that we don't win a national championship because we're able to almost every single year.
Ohio State basketball gets back in action tonight at Nebraska, 7 p.m., Big Ten Network. Buckeyes trying to stop a 3-game losing streak. I think they'll be able to do that. The Huskers have a brand-new arena. They are 0-4, though, in Big Ten play. Buckeyes trying to end that 3-game losing streak tonight. Happy MLK Day to everybody out there. And for our subscribers, we're going to have a ton of great stuff on the site today. In fact, Bill Kurlick's What I Am Hearing is already on the site. But the boarding house is going to be jam-packed with some juicy information today. If you're not a Bucknuts subscriber, right now is a great time to try our 7-day free trial. So get on to Bucknuts and try our 7-day free trial.